Well, viewers, thank you for staying tuned. And we're going to meet our first guest today, Grace Scimonello, who prepared for us the trippa alla veneziana. Allora, Grace, welcome to the show. And thank you so much because you're going to share with us your secrets on how you made this trippa. Is that right?
Yes.
Now tell me, you can buy trippa at your local butcher shop?
Yes.
And you take it home, you cut it up.
Into pieces.
Pieces, and then you put it in boiling water. Now, how long do you boil it for?
About 20 minutes.
About 20 minutes, and then you take it out of the water.
And drain it.
And drain it. E lo lavi, you wash it.
Yes, you've got to rinse it out.
You've got to rinse it out, okay. This really was poor man's food, but it smells so good. And then on that note, you make the sofrito, don't you? So we cook
Onions
off
and
celery, carrots, onions with some olive oil.
Yes.
And then?
A little bit of butter.
A little bit of butter.
And then I add the parsley and basil and oregano.
So all the lovely flavourings, yes.
And then some tomato paste.
Tomato paste.
And some
passata.
Passata.
It's the best fresh passata.
Yes, and some chicken stock as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because you want to keep it really under the liquid, don't you?
Yes,
you don't want it drying out.
No.
It tenderises it. And for roughly how long do you cook
About
it for?
an hour and a half, 2 hours, depends on the tripe itself.
All right. And that's a very traditional recipe to be served with polenta, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, do they sometimes go parmigiano on top of it as well?
Yes, I did put some parmigiano. I forgot to mention that, yes.
Oh, right. I don't think this is poor man's food because parmigiano is quite expensive.
A handful of that went into it.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. So it's a really beautiful, simple recipe, but it works so well with trippa. Sometimes they make it in bianco as well, don't they?
I do, but I've never done it like that. Lena, I think, does it that way, but I don't. Yeah.
Okay, you see, these Italian mothers, they have their own ideas about how it should actually look and taste. Now, viewers, wasn't it a fantastic little story on how Grace made trippa, tripe for those at home, of course, very much part of Italian cooking. And you know, the wonderful thing about trippa is that although it may look unattractive in its raw state, once cooked becomes a really soft, wonderful meat. Well, it's like a meat, I guess, because it's the lining from animal lining from the stomach. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But it tastes beautiful, they say. Now, on that note, our next guest cook is a signora called Lena Brusamarello, who comes from the Valtellina, also found in the northwest part of Italy. So, very close links to the Veneto region. Of course, from this region, they have the very famous buckwheat polenta, which is quite different to the golden or white polenta that we know in the Veneto. And on this occasion, she's produced a dish which is an umido of meat. And we're going to go meet her and she's going to tell us exactly how she did that. Well, viewers, now this is the beautiful Lena.
Yes,
beautiful you are. Yeah, Brusamarelli. Now, of course, Lena has produced for us today a beautiful beef umido. Is that correct?
Sì, è correct.
It is correct.
Correct.
Except you're going to tell me off, aren't you?
Yes, I am, because my husband comes from Veneto, and that's umido. But I'm from Valtellina, and that's Borsato.
So Valtellina, which is Piemonte?
No,
Where
it's
is
up this border of Switzerland. It's
right
up the top.
Right up the top,
That's
isn't it?
That's
There you go. I've got to try and get all the information out from these wonderful signore. So we call it a Borsato in your area, but it's the same method as doing an umido in the Veneto, correct? So different words for perhaps the same dishes, but it's the regional thing, I guess, yes? Allora, tell me, now what sort of meat do you use?
Well, today I've used beef.
You've used beef, and it's the top side?
Top side of beef, beautiful beef.
Yes.
And I have, it starts off with butter and oil and onion.
Yes.
And then...
Fai un soffritto.
Yes, and you brown your meat, of course.
Yes.
And then you put it in the pot.
Yes.
And then we have tomato paste. And then we have herbs.
What sort of herbs?
We have sage, parsley, oregano, rosemary, everything you got in the garden.
So anything you got in the garden?
Use anything
They're very resourceful, yes?
Beautiful.
Yes.
Then I just fill it up with water and then 3 nice glasses of wine.
Nice glass of dry white wine or red wine?
Red wine.
Ah.
With meat goes red wine.
All right.
Pepper and salt.
Yes. And roughly how long do we cook for?
I cook that one there for 4 hours.
For 4 hours?
On a light, yes, a very, very slow cooking.
And it is a perfect accompaniment to polenta.
Yes.
Now, what do you think about this yellow polenta versus the polenta from La Valtellina, which is buckwheat?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit heavier.
Our polenta?
No, the Valtellina polenta.
Is it?
Yes.
Because it's colder up there, isn't it?
Yes, it's very cold, and
Yes.
they use just the buckwheat.
They
They
use-
don't use the
Yeah, and it's a sort of a browny colour, isn't it? Grey-brown colour?
Yes, yes.
It's a little bit different. Of course, the buckwheat polenta was brought to Italy by the Saracens, which is why they call it grano saraceno. Yes, and then it fell out of favour, but basically I guess they were planting all the corn in the Veneto region, and the land was really perfect for growing corn, and of course it really became a little bit more fashionable than the buckwheat. But
Well-
it's still there, isn't it?
Yes, and the oldies still use it.
And the older
And they
generations.
make, the oldest use the buckwheat because they make their regional dish.
Now they do something with potato and cabbage, don't they?
Yes, and it's called pizzoccheri.
Pizzoccheri, which are famous, yes. And
Yes.
on that note, now what is the accompaniment to your brasato? Would you use
Well, we have a sauerkraut and
I krauti
krauti and beans.
and beans?
Beans, dry beans, yes.
Yummy. I borlotti?
Carlotti
I borlotti.
or lamont, whatever.
You're such an Italian.
Oh, yes, I am.
Lena, thank you so much. I
Thank
hope we
you.
can come back and visit you again next
And
year.
it'll be lovely.
All
We'll
right.
welcome you back again.
All right, thank you very much. Aren't the Italians so parochial? They really, it's all about the regional food. And Lena's story is a lovely story. And on that note, for the next two dishes that we're going to look at, being the venison, being capriolo, and l'anitra, which is the duck. And we're going to meet Sergio and his wife Lena, who basically produced these dishes with a little bit of a twist. I know they keep saying this is the poor food of the northern region, but it certainly is not. It has enormous richness, and as I said, perfect accompaniment to that golden corn. And on the other side of the break, we're going to come back and meet Sergio and Lena, who are Trevisani, of course, where my mother hails from, and they're going to talk to us about duck and venison. And of course, the wonderful thing is that they actually shot, killed and cured these wonderful meats to make these beautiful dishes to accompany the polenta.